Last time out, we missed out on the first lot of silverware in the Community Shield against Manchester City, who we just seemed to be able to beat a lot last season, but it might have changed this season, and we got off to a winning start in the Premier League. How have we done since then? And today, we start our Champions League campaign, but we'll start the episode after the titles with the draw for the Carabao Cup third round. And so the draw for the third round of the Carabao Cup, 33 teams in the hat for 16 ties, which means that there's still a tie to be resolved. I'm not quite sure that is because it does go to penalties, so that seems a bit odd that there are two teams. There they are, Norwich or Manchester United. I'm guessing they've still got to play. And we are Thursday, 29th of August in game. I'm guessing they're probably playing this evening, so either Norwich or Manchester United will be drawn out of that. Right, let's get on with the draw then. Leyton Orient first out of League One will play Arsenal from the Premier League, an all-London tie. Swansea City will play Blackpool. Swansea of League One now will play Blackpool. And we are out next. We are going to play West Ham. It's an all-London Premier League. Oh, no. Sorry, West Ham are in the Championship. It's an all-London derby for the Carabao Cup as we commence our defence of the title. Leicester will play Everton. Fulham will play Southampton. Northampton will play Liverpool. Preston will play Sheffield Wednesday. That's a plum draw for Northampton against Liverpool. Brighton will play Tottenham. Blackburn will play Coventry. Wigan will play Mansfield. Bristol Rovers will play Stoke. Cardiff of the Championship will play Wolves of the Premier League. Milton Keynes Dons will play Forest Green. Brentford will play Norwich or Manchester United. Sheffield United will play Manchester City. And Luton Town will play Bradford City. So that is the draw for the third round of the Carabao Cup. We face West Ham then in the third round. I'll hand you back to Future Mark. Third round of the Carabao Cup. And yes, we're going to be playing West Ham in that third round. More of that in just a moment, but you join us today for episode 48 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First up in the Premier League against Aston Villa. Can we continue our reasonable start to the season? Is it a reasonable start to the season? We'll find out. And then we will be playing Real Madrid in our Champions League opener. Of course, this particular season, it's all changed. It's not group games to start us off. More about that in a moment. I'm sure you're already aware of this. If you've been watching other people's saves, you will be aware of it. But just in case you're not, I will go through it with you in just a few moments. But since you were last with us, we have, well, I say we've had a good start. We haven't had a bad start. You saw in the last episode a 3-1 win against Arsenal on the opening day of the season. We then went on to beat Brentford by 2-0. Savic and Havertz getting the goals. Havertz from the penalty spot, needless to say. But Savic is up and running in the Premier League, and a good goal it was too. In fact, I might show you that in a moment. But then we went to Molineux and lost to Wolves for some bizarre reason. But having said that, when we... I didn't want to do that. Mark, didn't want to do that. Let's try... Let's try that again. Oh, dear. Yeah, as you will see, previous history at Molineux isn't good either. 4-4 draw and a 0-0 draw. So we just seem to not be able to beat Wolves. at Molineux for some reason or other. I think we've got an infliction to Molineux, which brings us to today's games against Aston Villa and Real Madrid in the Champions League league phase. And it's all different connotations. It's all based on money and TV, of course. So we now play 8 games, where we used to play 6 games in the group games. We now play 8 games. 6 of those are before Christmas. The other 2 are after Christmas, towards the end of January, and then it'll go into a knockout round in playoffs and knockout round, and then through. We'll have a look in a minute at that properly, but I did say I was going to show you this Savic goal. In fact, I'm doing it all wrong today. Let's go in here. There we go. Let's have a look at Sergej Milinkovic-Savic goal, which got us underway against Brentford. Chilwell with a long throw is headed clear, and the Brentford defence giving it away basically, and Sergej just pounced on it and put it in the back of the net. Good goal. Yes, so there we go. That's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic off the mark. And so we'll have a quick look at the Champions League group. Well, not group as it is now, this new league way of doing things. 36 teams go into this table. Each team plays 8 other teams. Not home and aways and things like we did before. Just play 8 different teams. And having played those 8 teams, the table will set itself, and the top 8 will go through automatically to the last 16. The teams from 9th to 24th will then go into a playoff, and those playoff 8 winners from those playoffs will go to meet the other 8. As far as I'm aware, the 8 who qualify by being in the top 8 will go through and be seeded 1. And those who finish through the knockout, through the playoffs, will actually be seeded 2nd. And then obviously it goes in the normal knockout stages. I think we can see that, if I'm not too greatly mistaken by the rules. There we go. Confirmation of the 8 go through to the round of 16. 9 to 24 in the knockout stages. So yeah, league phase. Then it's a knockout playoff round. A round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final. Knockout round. Playoff round, 4th, so early February. Winners qualified for the round of 16. Is 2 legs. First leg, match rules, only players registered for this competition eligible. And then it's the same, extra time played if level after 90, penalty if the score's still level to decide it. So that's how that goes. And then obviously the round of 16, same thing applies. It will then go to a 2-legged thing from the round of 16. So just this league phase, 36 teams, number of matches, 8 games. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Normal league rules in all of that, and there we go. That is how it works, and you get £2.4 million for each win, and prize money per draw 802,000. So all previously accumulated yellow cards are cleared for this stage. So that's how the Champions League works. I'm sure we'll follow it as we go through. Holders, of course, Liverpool. And this year's final is going to be held in Munich at Bayern Munich's stadium, which I think we met them there once before in some competition or other, which seemed grossly unfair, if I may say so. Right, let's get on with today's episode then. One thing I didn't tell you about, which we do have to go for, and that is transfer history, because we have had some transfers, because it has gone past the transfer window. We've brought in one other player, Matthias Ettel. He's come in from Bayern Munich. I think he came in from Bayern Munich anyway. Bayern Munich, who's playing for FC Bayern 2. Just played a couple of times for him this season. He's played for Bayern Munich as well this season. Last season made 14 appearances, scored 2 goals and 1 player of the match. Matthias Tell, he is a 2-star current ability, could be a 4/5-star player. He can play on either wing, preferred on the left. He can also play up front, albeit at the minute he's way down the pecking order, but his attributes, I think you'll see, they are reasonable. Technicals are very good. Mentals are very good. Determination and flair also good. And his physicals are good as well. Jumping reach and heading not fantastic, but I think he'll do. So we'll see how he gets on as he gets underway. I think he's already played for us in our under-21s, possibly. Moldova under-21s. He's a French under-20. No, he hasn't played for us yet. So hopefully we'll get to see him in the not too distant future. Maybe even against Aston Villa. Talking about Aston Villa, let's go and see if we can get a win against Aston Villa, keep our Premier League run going. Previously played them 4 times in this series, beat them 4 times, both at Villa Park and also at Stamford Bridge. Today's game, of course, is at Stamford Bridge. Just one other thing we haven't done is checked the Premier League. Because that loss against Wolves has dropped us down a little bit. Liverpool lead on 9 points ahead of Tottenham on goal difference. Then Manchester City, last season's champions, as they have been for the last 4 years. They have drawn 1 game, though, and they drew that against Burnley, a 1-1 draw against Burnley. 7 points, and then come ourselves, Newcastle, Wolves, Brentford, Everton, Aston Villa, Manchester United, all on 6. But obviously this early in the season, you can win one and go hurtling up the table. You can lose one and go hurtling down the table. So it's important to keep a little bit of consistency here at the start of the season. As I said, let's go and have a look at the team that will face Aston Villa. And this is the team that will face Aston Villa in this Premier League game at Stamford Bridge. And it's off the back of an international break as well as the end of the transfer window. So as you will see, Mendy in goal, Chilwell, Garcia, Fofana and James are back line. Rice and Mount are in front of them, with Savic taking up the central midfield role in front of Rice and Mount. Koeman and Sterling are our wide players, with Havertz up front. Koneski, Koulibaly, Octavio, Barbosa, Cucurella. Tell makes his debut on the bench. Broja, Timber and Kante are all on the bench for this one. And no sign, I don't think he's come back from international duty yet. Trying to think of who it is. Rodrigo. I think he's waiting for him. In fact, he's tired. That's why we're waiting for him to come back. He's been tired. He's worn himself out. So that's the team then that will face Aston Villa. And this is how the two teams line up. Steve Gerrard's still the manager in this FM sphere at Aston Villa. And so we face off Martinez in goal. Digne, Carlos Conassa, Pezzella, Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Dendonka, Bailey, Buendia and Namaso up front. Very similar formation to us, except they're playing 1 defensive midfielder, 2 central midfielders. We're playing 2 defensive and 1 central. So very, very similar. On the bench, Liam Kelly, who I think... No, he's not. Liam Kelly's the goalkeeper. Martinez, Quetta, Ollie Watkins, Ings, Nakamba, Matty Cash, Kessler, Hayden, Chambers and Feeney. And 27 minutes on the clock. And Martinez with a goal kick. That's headed down by Fofana to Mount. James comes forward looking for Sterling. Sterling, I don't know if he fell over or what in the penalty area. It wasn't fouled and nothing given. Chilwell crosses it. And I think there is a question now. Was that Havertz? It was Havertz that seemed to go down. And looking to get on the end of that cross from Mason Mount. And it is a penalty. He was tripped. And I'm thinking it's probably Mason Mount going to take the penalty. He is. Mason Mount, goalkeeper, didn't even move. Second goal of the season for Mason Mount. We're 1 up after 29 minutes. Just that one highlight in that first half. A bit boring, really, wasn't it? 10 shots, 7 on target. So we're getting lots of shots. We've got a lot on target. 1.15 on the XG. 52% of the possession. Aston Villa have had no shots, nothing on target to date, and only 48% of the possession. A very good first half and well in control. Need to continue it in the second half. And a corner after 62 minutes is in, and Savic gets his goal, another goal in the Premier League. And 2-0 after 63 minutes, crossed in, Savic getting up and head that one in. Usually you expect the defenders to get there. Aston Villa with a free kick, and it's gone wide. And with nearly 71 minutes on the clock, we've made 3 changes. And Kante is on for Declan Rice. Otavio has come on for Kingsley Coman, who is not having a good game and picks up a yellow card. And Matthias Tell makes his debut up front for Kai Havertz, who is having a bit of an off day. And I think still a little bit of rustiness after the international break. So just change it up a little bit. We are in control at 2-0, albeit Aston Villa do seem to have come back into it just recently. But hopefully we can keep that clean sheet and continue to work hard and maybe add to the goal tallies. Bozzella with a free kick. Eric Garcia cuts it out to Otavio. Kante and Otavio just come on, of course. Mason Mount. Fofana comes forward, finds Sterling. James now cuts it inside. Sergi brings it down. Tell's through, and Tell puts it away. A goal on his debut for Matty Tell. 3-0 after 73 minutes. Sergi brings it down. It's a good sign in. Tell got his foot in, won the ball and scored. Question of offside, I think. No way. And with 80 minutes on the clock, we make our final 2 changes. It's Barbosa is on for Raheem Sterling on the right side. And we've also brought on Duran Timber in defence to replace the very tired and tiring Eric Garcia. Fofana moves over to the left. Timber on the right side of that central defence. And no more highlights despite making those changes. And Matthias Tell getting off the mark on his debut. What time did he come on? 71 minutes, 2 minutes on the pitch and scored. So that's a very, very good start for him. And we've won that comprehensively. 3-0, 14 shots, 9 on target, 1.72 XG, 55% possession. In the end, Aston Villa did have 4 shots, only one of which was on target, 0.02, 45% possession. Not bad day at the office. Let's see how that affects the table. We were the only side to have played today on Friday. Everybody else playing Saturday and Sunday as well. So we've played a game more than everybody else. But currently we are in second place behind Liverpool on goal difference. But Tottenham and Liverpool and Manchester City and Newcastle and Wolves and all those do have a game in hand, albeit Newcastle, Wolves and Brentford all have to score 5 goals to get past us at this stage of the proceedings. So we'll see how that pans out after the next rounds of games. Well, as promised, I said we would come back after the round of games on the Saturday and the Sunday have been played. Everybody has played 4 games now. We are in 4th place, but there are some good news around the place. Liverpool, that had an unbeaten start to the season, their first 3 games, have been beaten. Leicester have beaten them by 3-2. right at the death as well, 4 minutes into injury time. I bet they were cross about that. But it does mean that they are only in front of us on goal difference by 2 goals, 9 points. It's very tight at the top table here. Tottenham drawing 2-2 with Everton means that they are in second on 10 points. Manchester City, the current champions, are top again. They're on 10 points as well, having beaten Manchester United in the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. They are top, also on 10 points by virtue of goal difference, basically. Newcastle and Wolves also on 9 points, but inferior goal difference to us. Then come Everton. Brentford just outside of the European places. Bournemouth, Middlesbrough and Burnley in the drop zone as it stands at the minute. But that's good news for us because we're only a point now behind Manchester City and Tottenham. We just need to keep progressing in a forward direction. As you will see, the other games that you couldn't see there, Bournemouth beat Fulham 2-1 and Southampton drew 1-1 with Brentford, which means that it is high time to get on with our first Champions League phase match against Real Madrid. If we played Real Madrid before, we have played them 3 times. A friendly back in 2022, a 3-3 draw. Then we played them in the Champions League quarter-final first leg last season. I think it was the season before. Last season. No, season before. Yes. No. Last season. No, it wasn't last season. It was the season before. Tell a lie. I have worked it out now. 23, because it's April 24, isn't it? We're in 24. Getting confused with the dates. A 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge and a 2-1 win, and that was the crucial one against Rio at the Bernabeu. Of course, beating them 2-1 on their own stomping ground. We thought we'd messed it up by drawing 1-1 with them in the first leg, but managed to go away and beat them away from home. So let's hope that we can do similar today. We are playing them today. We are at home against Real Madrid. 1-1 last time we played them at Stamford Bridge. Can we get hope? Let's hope for a better result than when we played them in that game. Let's go and see if we can do it. This is the team that will face Real Madrid. And the team to face Real Madrid in this first game of the Champions League phase, the new phase of the Champions League instead of the group matches. Mendy in goal, Chilwell, Garcia, Timber and James make our back line. Rice and Kante are in front of them. Savic sits behind the 2 wide players. Koeman on the left, Sterling on the right. Havertz continues up front. Karnasecki, Cucurella, Mount, Barbosa, Fofana, Fernandes, Tell, Koulibaly, Otavio, Broja, Xhaka and Rodrigo make up the bench. And we get the Champions League screens coming up. And that is our team to face Real Madrid. And the Real Madrid team, they're playing a 4-1-4-1. Diego Jota out on the right. And the teams come on. Ball picked up off of the lectern-y thing. Teams form up on the pitch for this Champions League match. Opener. Right, 3 minutes in, Chilwell with a long throw to Havertz. Rice to Sergi. James. Kante from the edge of the area has gone wide. We have a corner. Chilwell with the corner. Swings it in. It's headed clear. But only as far as Sterling. Garcia. Eric Garcia with his first goal of the season. What a time to score it. What a brilliant goal from Eric Garcia. Goal of the season so far. Chilwell. And it was headed clear by the defence. But only as far as Sterling. Garcia had come back. Just steadied himself and struck it sweet as anything. Courtois in goal for Real Madrid. Ball out wide. Koeman trying to win the ball back. Didn't do it. But Rice has won the ball back, and Chilwell and Chilwell was two. Lukaku has scored against. I don't know how he's playing, to be fair. How is Lukaku playing against his parent club? I know we've effectively sold him. He's on loan this season and will go there permanently. And he's got them back 1-1 after 21 minutes. And they are the only highlights of the first half. Garcia getting us off the mark, 18 minutes, but Lukaku got Real Madrid back on equal terms after 21 minutes. It's 5 shots, 2 on target for us, 0.36. It's all pretty even, Stevens. We haven't had so much of the possession, though, only 42% against their 58. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target, 0.35. We've got to improve a little bit in the second half. And with 71 minutes on the clock, no highlights so far in this second half. But you'll see Declan Rice has come off due to an injury. He came off at half-time, and it's a lower leg injury, so hopefully it won't be too painful, or B, too bad. Ben Chilwell's going to come off for Marc Cucurella. It's a change that we make on a regular basis. Also, we're not doing particularly well. Kingsley Koeman, again, not having a good day out there. Mason Mount is going to come on the left-hand side for Koeman. And we're going to leave it at that for the minute. Make a couple more changes in due course and see if we can get our noses back in front. Mendy with a goal kick to Cucurella, who's come on. Enzo Fernando, who come on for Declan Rice, but their defence cuts it out. And a long looping ball forward, looking for Lukaku. But we've tied it up, Garcia and Cucurella. But the ball given away there on that wing, and Mount trying to get it back. And Diego Jota has got a Real Madrid in the lead, 2-1. And we're behind after 75 minutes. Mount losing that ball, tried to get it back, but ball over the top. Diego Jota pretty much bounced perfectly for it, hit it first time. And we have another highlight. Mendy throws to Lukaku. Valverde out to Cucurella, cutting that off. Havertz heads it forward, but nobody there, of course. And 80 minutes on the clock. We're looking to make another change. And Vini, it's a question of whether he's offside here. I'm hoping that he is. Oh, no, he's not. And we are 3-1 down. We're going to lose this one, our opening Champions League game. And they've called us cold, really. Vinny Jr. And 3-1. No, who's this in the middle playing him onside? It's Timber that's playing him on. Just onside. And with 81 minutes on the clock, we have made those final 2 changes. Havertz has come off. Matisse Atel has come on in that attacking role. Barbosa comes on in on the right for Sterling. Probably should have mixed up the central midfield as well, really. But everybody tiring out there. And, I think we've just blown this one completely. Barbosa, who's come on, wins the ball. Timber, Kante, back to Timber. Kante again. Goes all the way back to Mendy. Garcia, Kante, Enzo, Cucurella, Mount moving the ball around nicely. Mount crosses it in. And I'm not sure what happened there. I think it was a save in the end and it's gone behind for a corner. Barbosa with the corner on this side. Swings it in deep. But it's cleared upfield. Kante, Enzo, Sergi. Enzo tries to have a shot from distance. But it's blocked. Another corner. Barbosa swings it. It's cleared this time. Sergi. Kante. Kante has a shot. It's bobbing around there. Garcia. But Sergi couldn't put it away. And it's all over. It's a 3-1 loss. And we've not started well in this Champions League, and we're going to need to pick it up somewhat. Goals from Lukaku after 21, Jota after 75, Vinicius Jr. after 81. Thought we'd got off to a good start when Garcia scored after 18 minutes, but it wasn't to be, and it's not a good start at all. Well, a long way to go, and I'm sure another game and a win could change things dramatically, as in all league tables. First time out, but a disappointing start from our point of view. 28th in this table at the moment. We'll try and not take too much notice of it for the minute, but we've got some work to do in the other 7 games, that is for sure. Let's go and have a quick look at the other teams. I don't think we covered that earlier in the episode. We got Juventus next up at home, and then we got Brondby IF, Bâle, Paris Saint-Germain. That's going to be a toughie as well. Sevilla, not going to be easy. Molfavera, who are bottom of the table at the moment, and then we finish up with Borussia Dortmund. It's not going to be an easy task, and especially if we've let ourselves down on the opening day of the Champions League and lost 3-1. Need to get ourselves sorted and pick that up next time out. Right, well, we'll move on from that for now and say that our next episode is Manchester City in the Premier League. We've already lost to them once this season. Of course, did very well against them in last season, not only in the Premier League, but in the FA Cup 5th round and the Carabao Cup final, beating them wholesale, but lost 4-1 on the opening day. And in the FA Community Shield, can we put that right? I don't know. We're at the Etihad. Could be difficult. And then we have a Carabao Cup 3rd round tie, our opening tie in the Carabao Cup this year, against West Ham at home. An all-London derby, and a big derby at that, to get our ourselves underway to try and retain the trophy for the 3rd season running. Can we do it? You can find out in the next episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, despite that loss in the Champions League. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of this and new series as they are released. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud released are every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And if you want to keep up to date what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 49. It's out on Friday. Until then, I'd like to wish you a good week. See you Friday. Goodbye.